Hello friends, I am Emmanuel Prem Kumar, teaching English at Sam Higginbottom University of Agriculture, Technology and Sciences, Allahabad. Today we will learn paper 2, module 26, that is Sri Lankan women writers. This module is authored by Dr. Shaminaz Banu, assistant professor at Ewing Christian College, Allahabad. Sri Lankan women writers. Sri Lanka, or Ceylon as it was known earlier, was the first country to have given the world a women prime minister, Srinivaso Bandaranaike, indicating that the women of the country had social and political status. However, Sri Lanka has witnessed tremendous political upheaval, bitter conflict and violence over an extended period. Civil strife has torn the country and cost it dearly in terms of human as well as other resources. Although peace has now been restored to the land, still there are many issues which have to be sorted out. The present module provides a brief overview of contemporary women's writing in Sri Lanka, focusing on a few select writers. A comprehensive survey is outside the purview of this lesson, but the endeavor is to introduce the student to an area of literature where significant work is being produced. History of the women's writing in English in Sri Lanka. The history of the women's writing in English in Sri Lanka began as early as 1928, when Rosalind Mendes published her first novel, The Mystery of a Tragedy, published by Arthur Stockwell of London. The novel was not so successful and did not pave the way to inspire other women to take up writing as a career. Women's writing did not flourish in Sri Lanka due to many reasons, but over the last 3 decades, despite the turbulent context, there has been a resurgence of writers and a new wave of authors have made themselves visible, trying to carve their niche in the world of English writing, many of whom have been very successful. Different people have different views regarding the growth of women writers in Sri Lanka. As Sivakumaran, the famous critic and columnist of Tamil literature, believes that the increased scopes and possibilities of university education have created a positive and favorable atmosphere for better creative writing by women. Vijita Yeppa, a famous journalist turned book publisher, ascribes this change to the changing economic condition of the country, the liberation of economy and the influx of investors resulting in women's emancipation in almost all fields. This has led to the rising of the status of women writers by expanding their horizons and experiences. Yeppa herself is a very famous publisher of English language books in her country. She sees a new generation of women writers exploring social issues through novel, short story, drama and verse. Publishers now have a wide array of choices instead of a few limited manuscripts. Quite a few of our publications of women's work have won state literary and other awards. Earlier, women had focused on different subjects in writing. Critics felt that women wrote only about womanly subjects, limiting themselves to domesticity or particular womanly experiences. But now, there is a tremendous change in terms of themes and content. New generation of writers. Whatever be the reasons, the outcome is that the women's writing in Sri Lanka is flourishing and Sri Lankan women writers are gaining international attention. They are giving voice to the experiences of the common women of their country and encouraging them to move forward, oppose and fight against the injustice inflicted on them. It is basically to raise their living standards and to become emancipated. However, in spite of their achievements, they continue to face hostility and the double standards of a patriarchal society. Sunita Rajakaruna Naike, a prolific award-winning writer and translator, had raised this issue in her writing. She boldly exposes the double dealings and double standards regarding the status of men and women of her society, both politically and socially in her novels and poetry. She has addressed such controversial subjects as extramarital affairs, sexual scandals and exploitation of gay men. People have criticized Rajakaruna Naike not only for her writing, but also for neglecting her home and family and giving more time to writing. But she challenges her critics and counters these allegations by proclaiming that her writing has shaped the personalities of her son and daughter and made them into strong and independent individuals. There are other similar examples of writers who have been accused of writing at the cost of neglecting their families. One such writer is Cecilia Couret, who writes poetry and believes that she is able to do so because of the support of her husband and her grown-up son, who allow her space for her creativity. Another bilingual writer is Eva Ranavira, who is the editor of the famous quarterly magazine in English on women's issues, Voice of Women. Yasmin Gunaratne, who is a professor emeritus of Macquarie University in Sydney, Australia, says, women no longer feel pangs of guilt over devoting time to writing. Gunaratne herself is a writer and credit goes to her for putting Sri Lankan women's writing on the international map through her teaching years at the university. She is credited with editing and publishing many collections of Sri Lankan fiction without any help. The unstable political condition of Sri Lanka, resulting in civil wars and its consequences, constitutes the theme of the work of these writers. Issues like displacement, killing of family and people one is close to, the suffering of parents who have lost their children in the struggle find place in their writings. Women are the worst sufferers of any war, and their experiences also form the basis of the work. There are many other social problems specific to women like female migration, drugs abuse, use of women in the insidious business of storing and distributing narcotics, molestation, sexual abuse of women and children, failed marriages and domestic violence, which are addressed by these writers. Punyakante Vijinayake. Sri Lankan women writers have been honored by various awards and prizes from around the globe. Punyakante Vijinayake wrote Anoma, which addresses the subject of incest and won the Commonwealth Award for short fiction in 1996. Not only this, she has also won the prestigious annual Gratian Award for creative writing. The Gratian Award is a famous literary award named after the grandfather of well-known Booker Prize winner and Sri Lankan Canadian author Michael Ondaatje. It is the most prestigious literary award of Sri Lanka, given annually to the best piece of work in English writing by a Sri Lankan living in the country. Vijay Nayake has also been honoured by several state literary awards for her fiction. Considered one of the most famous and foremost contemporary novelists and short story writers of her country, her other novels are Dark Yugdi, Missing in Action, and The Rebel. These novels deal with the current problems existing in our country, such as the theme of ethnic conflict, the insurgency of 1980 and 1988, and the youth rebellion of 1971. Kumari Jayawardena. Jayawardena was born and brought up in Sri Lanka. She has had an illustrious academic career. She earned a degree in political science from the London School of Economics in 1955. Later, she qualified as a lawyer from London in 1958. She completed her PhD on the labour movement in Ceylon from the London School of Economics. She taught politics at the University of Sri Lanka and Women and Development master courses in the Netherlands. She was an affiliated fellow of the prestigious Bunting Institute and currently teaches the Women Studies program at the Colombo University. A leading academic, Kumari Jayawardena, is among the pioneers of the feminist movement in Sri Lanka. Her work is categorized as third world literature and feminist and represent the ideology of feminist philosophies. Her philosophy is native and unique to non-Western societies. Among her publications are The Rise of the Labour Movement in Ceylon, The White Women's Other Burden, Western Women and South Asia during British Rule, and Embodied Violence, Communalizing Women's Sexuality in South Asia, which he co-edited with Malati D. Alvis. Her major work, Feminism and Nationalism in the Third World, was cited by Ms. Magazine in 1992 as one of the 20 most important books of the feminist decades from 1970 to 1990. Earlier, she was selected for the Feminist Fortnight Award in the United Kingdom in 1986 for it. Since then, the book has been widely used by researchers and scholars in women's studies programs around the world and acknowledged as a key text of Third World Feminism. Jayawardena, in her book Feminism and Nationalism in the Third World, has reconstructed the history of the women's rights movement in Asia and the Middle East from the 19th century to the 1980s, concentrating on countries like India, Iran, Egypt, Turkey, China, Japan, Vietnam, Philippines, and Korea. Through her research, she has established that feminism is not a foreign ideology imposed on the third world countries by the West, but an indigenous one rooted in Asia. It has developed in Asian countries of South Asia and the Middle East, where women have struggled since many centuries for equal rights against patriarchal norms and against the subordination of women at home as well as in society. In the white women's other burden, Western women and South Asia during British rule, Jayawardena re-evaluates those Western women who lived and worked in South Asia during colonial British rule. The book tells the stories of many famous women and also of some unknown women who have been forgotten. At the same time, she also raises some very important issues of race, class and gender in her writings. Jayawardena's book has been translated into Sinhala and Tamil. Next, we will see about Neera Konjith Wickramasinghe. Another noted writer from Sri Lanka is Neera Konjith Wickramasinghe, who is a professor of modern South Asian studies at the University of Leiden in the Netherlands. She is a renowned international academician who has also worked as a professor in the Department of History and International Relations at the University of Colombo, Sri Lanka, up to 2009. She completed her education at University of Paris IV and at the University of Oxford, acquiring the doctorate degree in modern history. Her works include the following books: Sri Lanka in the Modern Age, A History of Contested Identities in 2006, Civil Society in Sri Lanka, New Circles of Power in 2001, Ethnic Politics in Colonial Sri Lanka from 1927 to 1947, which was published in 1995, University Space and Values, 3 essays in 2005 and a book in French in 2006. In her book, Sri Lanka in the Modern Age, A History of Contested Identities, she describes about political unrest of her country. She throws light on the political chaos that took place in Sri Lanka in the late 1970s in the form of civil war, which left the country in shambles. The ethnic crisis in the country, the demand of equal opportunities by the minorities and the failure of the government to fulfill it was the major cause of conflict. The failure of the government to satisfy the minorities of Sri Lanka is the major issue which forms the basis of the entire history of 20th century Sri Lanka. In the last 2 decades, the liberal and Marxist scholars of the country have tried to focus on the conventional histories of their country. Her book throws lights on the fresh perspectives based on new research carried out by her. But the most important is that Wickramasinghe had focused on the experiences of the people suffering rather than the history of the country. Next is Rosemary Rogers. Rosemary Rogers was born on 7th December 1932 in Panadura, Sri Lanka, to Dutch Portuguese parents Barbara Allen and Cyril Jans. She currently lives in California, USA. She can be categorized as more of a popular writer rather than a writer of serious literature. She is a best-selling author writing in the genre of historical romance novels. Her debut novel, Sweet Savage Love, published in 1974, became a bestseller. Inspired by its success, she published her second novel, Dark Fires, within a year. This too was a big success, as almost 2 million copies were sold in its first 3 months of publication. Rogers is considered as a bold writer who depicts violent passion and emotions and violence. Her heroines are from rich families and they travel to exotic locations and meet important people in the story. Her stories are peppered with fantasies on rape and with similar plots and themes. Since 1974, she has penned more than 27 novels. Tishuri Vaniyachi. Tishuri Vaniyachi, born on 25th September 1993 at Colombo in Sri Lanka, to a mother who is a sociologist and a father who is a brigadier in the Sri Lankan army. Tishuri Vaniyachi published her first novel, Colombo Street, at the age of 14. The book went on to get the State Literary Award of Sri Lanka in 2009, making her the youngest recipient to have received it. She is also the youngest nominee for the prestigious International Writers Program of the University of Iowa. Her early education was done in Colombo, but after that she moved to Bennington College for pursuing an undergraduate degree in political economy and educational reform. Colombo Street is a novel about the Sri Lankan Civil War and depicts the experiences of children of different social classes and sections of society. The descriptions of the pain and suffering of the young are poignant and reach out to the hearts of the readers. Vaniyachi's second novel, The Terrorist Daughter, was published in Sri Lanka in 2014. When she was in the first year at Bennington College, it was published. This book too won her many accolades. With the Civil War forming the backdrop, the novel, A Love Story, describes the post-war political scenario of Sri Lanka. According to The Nation, Vaniyachi uses a platform to discuss, criticize and analyze the post-war Sri Lanka's political spectrum. At the launch of the book, Dayan Jayathilaka, a leading Sri Lankan political scientist, remarked that the book was one of the most important literary works in post-war Sri Lanka. He called it a roadmap to reconciliation and a manifesto for the Sri Lankan government. Not only a writer, Vaniyachi is also an advocate of educational and political reforms in Sri Lanka. She is a brave and daring female personality and was praised for her courage when she spoke out against the authoritarianism during the President Rajapaksa regime. The Terrorist Daughter, which was launched just 4 months before the starting of the electoral campaign to defeat Rajapaksa in Sri Lanka, is supposed to have played a crucial role in educating people and creating awareness among them, especially among the youth, regarding the incompetence of the people ruling Sri Lanka. She campaigned for the presidential election of Sri Lanka's 2015 by writing articles. Vaniarachi believes in educational reforms in Sri Lanka. Speaking at a discussion for the young politicians organized by World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, she stressed on the relevance of education for her people and the need for reforms in the educational structure of her country. She highlighted the need for improved inclusion of civic education that gives importance on citizen ethics, consent and respect, and also conflict resolution in the curriculum of Sri Lankan schools. Such induction can create sustainable solutions to many problems existing in the country, like the prevailing culture of corruption, gender discrimination, sexual harassment, and racial tension. Because of her outspoken attitude, prolific personality and writing, she has many fan followings around the world. British pop artist Sam Smith is a big fan of her writing, as he shares quotes from her writing on his social media accounts. Having grown up in Sri Lanka during the turmoil of the Elam War and a daughter to a brigadier of Sri Lankan army, Vaniarachi writes mainly on the wars and its aftermath on people. She began writing at the age of 10, but she published her short story The Road to Harapathavana at the age of 12. It was written after an incident of a terrorist attack on a children's bus in Harapathavana in Sri Lanka in 2007, which resulted in the death of 60 children. She was so moved by the incident that she penned it down in the form of a short story. The story became popular throughout the world because of the emotions steeped in it and was discussed in many international writers' forums. These writers have seen the savage and brutal conditions in their country, which has inspired them to pour their emotions and experiences in the form of writing. It is really very hard to survive when your country has continuously suffered civil war for 2 decades. But it is a credit and a compliment to the courage of these writers that even though they have faced many difficulties, they are still able to make a name for themselves and win and fame not only in their country but internationally. Such women are role models for women not only of their country but for women around the world. Thank you.